Hi, greetings. I'm Dr. Ask, and I'm here at my wonderful home. So, today I definitely want to talk about the title, which I have Opening Up. Okay, so if you notice, is that, you know, this conversation can definitely go a lot of different avenues. Um, but let's talk about the what's my motive for doing this. My motive for doing this particular video and having this type of conversation is going to be dealing with breaking barriers within our life for the purpose of discussing forms of basically healing through some of these issues, because it's really hard to for us to break certain barriers in our lives and to open up. So I'm talking about two different wavelengths, but yet they're one and the same. Okay. So a lot of times I think that as a person, as a woman, and as a black one or a melanated person, I find it um hard within our community, and I can't speak on everybody, but I can just tell you at my age of 46 years old how it's been very difficult to have friends within. And it's not just, I've never really had friends outside of the black community. I've had maybe a couple of people outside of the validator or black community as friends, but not that many. Okay. But for me, it's been difficult. How you doing, brother Melvin? Peace. So it's been difficult for me to have friends. Well, some of it, mostly, I would say 70% of it, 70% of me of it being problematic of me having friends was because of my me being adopted, me being an adoptee. Okay. So I got this herb. I got my sage burning. So it's kind of running, it's kind of making my eyes run. And then, anytime your eyes get to running, your nose start feeling weird. Okay. And then I got this, I'm by the window, so it's a little cool breeze. It's supposed to be really cold today. But anyway, nevertheless, let me get on topic because I'm getting off. So just to let you know what's going on. Okay. At any rate, so that's 70% of me being adoptee has been difficult in having maintaining friendships and getting them because of the fact that I didn't trust people. So, but let me get off of the adoption. But I just wanted to tell you, I can't just blame it on the community. I also have to say that it was something within me. But let's talk about it nevertheless. So trust, because I wrote down here trust. Trusting is definitely difficult for many of us as spiritual beings, especially within this community as a whole, even starting back from slavery. Slavery, we definitely had a problem in trusting each other because a lot of times we would sell each other out to the master. And it was envious, and it was envy whether you was in the house or whether you was in the field or whether you was master's favorite or master's favorite and these kinds of things. Okay, so we know that, right? Majority of us have to understand post-traumatic stress, post-traumatic slavery. you know it's kind of goes hand in hand because we suffer within our community from post-traumatic stress because of a lot of things that we have absorbed within our community, whether that be via genocide, whether that be via violence within our community, within our own personal autonomies and homes and environments, and just having to witness crime a lot, just whether that be via murder, and not extending and being apart from uh also police brutality and a lot of authority figures taking advantage of the Black community as a whole, especially landlords not providing the best, not all, I'm saying some, but not providing the best environments that we paying for, whether it's Section 8, whether you're paying full rent, but you just happen to be in the community. So a lot of us or experience more uh slumlords as opposed to staying out further in better communities. Okay, so that's part of post-traumatic slavery, and that's a part of post-traumatic stress as well, and having to deal with more. That's more so post. Well, yeah, they both connect. They go hand in hand, but nevertheless, when you have to deal with that, and then you having lead paint on your walls, and maybe you have mold, and maybe your apartment is really clean, and you may stay in a high rise, or you may just stay in an apartment building that is not so sanitary, and you might ask the slumlord over and over, hey, can you fumigate this apartment? Hey, and he's like, oh, I came back, what more do you want? But then you have another neighbor that is not so clean. Okay, and so we experience a lot of these in the community, because I'm no exception. I've been on low income before, back in the day, back when I was 19, around 18, 19 years old. Yeah, about 18 years old. And I probably stayed till I was like, maybe a couple years. Maybe I was like 17. I might have been 17 going on, and then 19. I think 19. I got married, so I got off of low income. So, nevertheless, I experienced that. And you may have the cleanest apartment in the world, but then you have people next door to you that aren't so clean, that have roaches, or that have all kind of insect problems, or even bed bugs to that degree. But nevertheless, we experience a lot of things living in different communities, especially in the sector of the not so lower income families. Okay, lower income, and not all. I'm just saying it's a lot of things that we have had to deal with along the way. And it's been many of us who wanted to get out, and we left. And some of us wanted to get out, but we didn't know how, and it may have been difficult. But whatever. I'm not going to sit up here. I'm going to knock anybody. That is not my judgment here. That is not going to be this kind of video. Okay. But let me go into what I'm talking about. Okay. So when you go through these different experiences in life, when you had to do what you had to do for your family, that may have been illegal, or you may have felt like that you had no choice, or maybe you had a choice but you did it anyway. Whatever the case is, it's still having to see certain things that a normal human being wouldn't be able to take and see of every day, and walking past abandoned housing, and that's traumatic. If every day you go past an abandoned building, and then you go into another area and no abandoned buildings on that particular street, or if it is abandoned, it's still kept up, it's neat, and it's not people not squatting in that area, or it's not used as a drug facility, illegal drug facility to bring in the have-nots. That's not so happy have-nots, and they're doing things that a child or a teenager may not need to see, And so if you're a part of that environment, then that becomes, or if your parents is some type of an addict, or has some type of addiction, and that's traumatic. That's post-traumatic slavery. That's post-traumatic stress as well. So they go hand in hand. And so experiencing that, because a lot of us, not all, but a lot of us have came from that environment, or we have seen things, maybe going over to a relative house, or going to a friend house, or maybe the fact that we're just melanated people, and we have experienced certain forms of racism, white supremacy, or when we do genocide to ourselves in the form of business relations. I've worked on corporate businesses, and I've seen so many people backstab each other and backstab me, or try to backstab me to get the particular position, or because they wanted to get me fired so they can bring their friend, or they just didn't like me for whatever reason, so because we experience all these different things as a yes, so you understand what I mean. Absolutely, absolutely. So because we experience all these different things, it's very traumatic for us. It's very traumatic, through any form. Okay. And even the fact that one of your children might get addicted, or what you see one of your children slipping, that's addiction. That's scary. Or if you see, if your child, or this is something that goes on in our community a lot. And a lot of it may be molestation, excuse me, or any form of sexual abuse, whether that person got raped. I'm a rape survivor as well. A person has gotten raped, or experienced certain things in their lives, or they were molested by an older cousin, or an uncle, or a parent, or by a family friend, or a relative that's older, or a babysitter. That happens a lot in our community too. That's also post-traumatic slavery, post-traumatic stress, all of that, that we have had to embark our spirits on, because, and it may not been the parent fault. They may not have been aware, or they thought they were doing the best thing to leave you with somebody because they didn't want to leave you by yourself, and for whatever reason that particular sicko touched you. Or it's still, I don't care if it was a babysitter and she was a female, and if you were 12 and she was 16, that's still wrong. I don't care if it was a 21-year-old, or whatever the case is, or if it was a mother's friend, and that's still molestation, whether it's a male or a female. It's still a form of molestation. I don't care what anybody says. But at any rate, I got on a particular tangent, so let me get back on route. But it's still impertinent to what I'm saying. It's still, but the fact is that trust within our community has definitely left, and we're so guarded. So now when we get into adulthood, or once we get into a certain part in our life, we are guarded because of things that we saw happen to us. That we experienced, or things that's happened to someone else that we know, or a parent. I had my mother used to, when my children were coming up, my mother really didn't like other people to keep my children. She'd be like, I'll keep them. If you want to go out, I'll keep them, because I don't want them over to that particular person's house. Not that person has done anything, but she just didn't want to put that person in that position to do that, or for her grandchildren to be molested or anything. Yep, I understand. That's still molestation. I'm sorry that happened to you. I really am. But and I hope you found a way to trust women, because that happened to you. I really am sorry that you experienced that. And I hope that you told your mom, or you told someone eventually, even if you got older, and let them know about that particular situation. Hopefully, I pray that you have. Wow, you got my mind going now, Brother Melvin. Let me try to get back on point. Something just in my spirit told me to say that, but nevertheless, I don't know what. I guess that's why, because I felt something. Great. I'm glad you told her. I'm glad, and hopefully you found some healing with that. But trust within our community is very limited. For certain aspects, for good reason, because of a lot of things that have happened to us, and definitely even outside of our community. The world today now is a hard place to trust, regardless of whether you're black, white, green, purple, whatever. Is really hard to trust, especially in developing friendships. And because, again, just to share, I know that I'll get to teaching, and or what, I don't want to say teaching. When I get to talking about my topics, I always use my personal experience to highlight that. Hey, peace, world. I don't know how to do moderators yet. I don't even have enough people to do moderators, right? So I'll add that later. I don't know how to do that. Maybe you can show me how to do that later. But anyway, peace, everybody. But it becomes a issue when we teach our children and going further within the world in dealing with certain aspects of trust, and we teach our children early on not to trust anybody, and with good reason. And we should say, if you get an uncomfortable touch, or someone does this to you or says this to you, then let me know as your parent, your mother or father. Okay. But for whatever reason, we have that within our bloodstream of trust. And nowadays, it's definitely hard to trust people. It's hard to really open up to people. It's really hard to express yourself. So many of us, in the form of expression, I was going to tell a story, but I'll get back onto that. I'll get back to that in a second. But it's really hard for us to really trust and become open with each other. But it's almost easier to either write it down or to express it on social media. It's just easier to talk about on social media than it is to talk to certain people. Although it can, that very thing that you, because of 9 times out of 10, anytime that you express something to someone, what do? They go back and tell someone else what you said. I've experienced that a lot in my life. And that, I think that was one of the biggest issues in trying to develop friendships with people, is trusting people. Yeah, I know it took a long time for you to trust people. I could imagine. It took a long time for me too. And I still don't trust people. I trust certain people. And one of the things that an elder told me one time, my father told me this, and an elder. The elder said, I'm telling you, he said that you have to trust that people ain't shit. That's what this one elder told me. He was an elder gentleman. He used to own a bookstore in St. Louis, and he was like one of my mentors, and I used to always go to his bookstore and buy a lot of books from him. We used to always talk, and I used to sometimes we used to really hang out. He was much older than I was. He was much older than I was. Jeez, why do people always want to call you while you're doing the video? Darian, just bring 1 second. Darian, hello? Just bring Derek Malik. I'm doing a video. Goodbye. Okay, I'm sorry. That's my son calling by my grandson, bringing him over. My daughter, I'm telling you, she really inconvenienced me a lot of times. And I don't mind being, I'm a grandmother, but I'm a grandmother. I'm not a mother. But anyway, nevertheless, because I'm mad at her right now. So, because I got to babysit my grandson, and I wasn't planning on doing it. When I told her up front I wasn't doing it today. But anyway, nevertheless, grandmothers, we have to do what we have to do for our grandchildren. But nevertheless, so I found myself, where was I at? Was I talking about trust? Okay, so I was talking about trust. I forgot a loose point. And I don't know why people always, they had all day to talk to me, I promise you. And every time you get going and smoking and rolling, people always want to call you with some mess. People always want to call you and tell you to do this and to do that. That gets on my nerves. And literally, my children stay right around the corner from me, and my other child stays right up the street. 2 of my children stay right around the corner. And one of my grandchildren, the other child, the youngest one, him and his children stay all the way up the street from me. But nevertheless, they get on my nerves. I'm not old. I'm 46. I'm still young. Anyway, I just got to lose some of this tank off me, but I'm just getting there. But anyway, nevertheless, so what happens is a lot of times, it's hard for people to really trust and to find people they can really trust. And like I said, with the elder, so my father told me, he always said, trust that people are going to learn how to trust people with certain things. And he said, well, trust is this person is going to tell your business, but they just might be a person that you could maybe hang out with. They'll make sure you don't get jumped when you go to the club, right? For example, back in my day when I used to hang out like that, y'all, because I have a life. As we old, doc, we're not old. We're young. I'm feeling good and spirited. But anyway, so that's definitely a deal, right? And so then my father will always tell me, also trust this particular person. He will run it down. He was like, trust this particular person is all about motivation, and you could probably trust them with a secret or two, but don't tell them too much. You know, when I was coming up, my father, yeah, I am a grandmother. I'm a grandmother of 4. And my oldest one is the one that's getting ready to come over here. He works my nerves, but that's another story. But anyway, nevertheless, so trust that, you know, this particular person is going to do whatever it is that they're going to do. So, you know, so that's kind of been my theory. But along the ways, I've shared things with people I wished I shouldn't have, you know, but now it is what it is, you know. I remember I was talking to, before my husband and myself got married, I remember I'm not even gonna call her a sister because I don't consider anybody like that my sister, but I shared some things with her that happened to me when I had I died like for a second. I had my fallopian tube on my right side burst, so I had a tubal pregnancy, right? And so like I almost died because I lost a certain pound of blood, and I had passed out when I was at school, at this particular school, you know, about 3 or 4 years ago. It was some years ago, okay? Can't remember exactly when. But nevertheless, so I shared that with her, and I shared what happened to me, and she went and told like somebody else. And that's not something, it wasn't necessarily her secret to share. I mean, now of course I'm going to talk about it because it's over with. But at the time when it first happened, that's not something that's for me to tell. That's not for you to tell. And it was just very traumatic, first of all, because I really wanted a child then, and I still do, but there's other means of having them. But nevertheless, I wanted a child back then really, really bad. And that was like my last miscarriage. I had 3 within the past 3 years I had. And so that was very traumatic for me. And I didn't really feel like I really felt like it was very irresponsible within our friendship to have her to have said that. But then I had to really think about, how did we really get together? How did our friendship really increase? Why was I really friends with her? And I was really friends with her because her husband. I'm telling y'all, literally every time I do a video, someone always calls me. Okay, give me a second. Sorry about that. Anyway, and that's my husband. I told him earlier I was doing a video. My son gonna come knocking at the door, watch in a little while. But anyway, nevertheless, so I found myself I never trusted her again after that, because as I began to start feeling the energy, I began to start feeling like she was a backstabber. And the only reason, and I had really befriended her because I liked her. Don't get it twisted. I liked her, but I let her in closer, and I let her in quicker because of the fact that her husband and I were best friends, which he is no longer here in the physical. He's spiritually transitioned a few years ago. And I got his name. I got a lot of tattoos. I got his name tattooed on my arm right here. And it was just something with that. And so one of the things that I definitely learned is that, I know you can't wait to get off work. One of the things I definitely learned is really trusting people with certain things. And part of the problem within my life is that, okay, besides me being not being adopted and not being able to trust people, and not really feeling comfortable and feeling awkward and weird, which I am, and I just began to start embracing it. So so along the way, in developing these friendships, not confiding in the right people. That was like one of my biggest problems. Like, why am I even talking to this person? And I've gotten warning signs that this particular person, you can't trust them. This particular person is jealous. This particular person is just talk too damn much. This particular person, hell, they mama don't even trust them. You know what I mean? So all these different things that's coming about, and I'm just looking like and being intuitive, knowing better, but still, I don't know, just wanting to be accepted and trying to force these different particular people to love, okay, to love me, right? Because of the whole insecurity thing, right? So I made sure I wrote down a couple of things because y'all know I kind of ramble, I kind of go through, but most of this is off the top of my dome. Yeah, and try to backstab me. I hate that. I hate it. So one of the things I began to start doing, and even an ex-husband of mine, I remember he told his woman, he told the person that he was cheating on me with. back in the day, y'all. I'm so over it. It's funny now. But back in the day, he told his like side chick that I was adopted. That was not for her to know. That was none of her business. He basically told her all of my business. Not stuff. It's not even a thing where, you know, you tell people things that happen with you and that particular person, you know, because it's not necessarily, it's y'all stuff. So, you know, you go, well, dang, why you tell them that? But then you go, well, that was your stuff too. But dang, for you to tell my stuff to this stranger, I don't know this chick, you know her. Well, you know her. So one of the things is that I definitely geez, my head looks really big today. My head's really not this big, I promise you. But anyway, so one of the things that I just learned to do is just closing circles. And I would say for about years, a few years, I've like closed my circle and I have an intimate circle. So now I basically just have family, you know. I have people, you know, I got YouTuber homies. You know what I'm saying? But everything I tell my YouTuber homies, y'all know y'all my YouTube family and homies in here. But what I tell y'all is not something that's so intimate that I don't mind the world knowing. Okay. So that's kind of where I sit right now. But on terms of letting people really in to be intimately, nah, I got a husband for that. That's my best friend. Because that's one of the things I learned. I had to learn to have to, when you go with somebody, that should be your best friend. I had a best friend, he's transitioned, he passed, and I to be honest with you, I've never really gotten over what happened to him. I've gotten over, I know he's passed, I know he's transcended. I'm okay with that, but I mean, it took me a long time to get past that. And he died like in 2008. Okay. I mean 2009, I'm sorry. So it took me a long time to really get past that. It took me, because I used to have dreams about him. I used to see him every day. I used to go through that. How you doing, Lotus? Throw me under the bus. They aren't really meant for you to trust. Of course, you're absolutely right about that, Brooklyn. But I definitely find myself in battling that because that was a tremendous blow for me. I'm telling you, that was more. I saw his death early. I knew he was gonna die, but I think the biggest issue about that is that I felt like I couldn't save him. Does that make sense? And from that, I didn't really have another friend after that. And I tried to take that same energy and pass it on to his wife, which was totally unfair because she probably wouldn't have been a best friend for me, or I thought was my best friend, if I hadn't have never got closer to her because of him. And it's not that she's not a bad person. I just don't trust her. And that's something that I should have gone with. I should have remained cool with her. And I think we would have been cool to this day if I hadn't have pulled her in. I pulled her in too much, too close. So I think that, and then I made him a promise that I would look over her after he passed, but I couldn't do it. It was too toxic for me. I'm not saying she's a toxic person, but I think that I just didn't trust her. I think she talks too much. I think she told some more business, and I think she just said certain things to me that was weird, really weird. One day she was just like, well, you light-skinned. First of all, I'm not light-skinned. You have long hair, okay? And she just, to me, thrived on when things happened in my life that wasn't so happy. And so you have to be careful of people like that. I felt like she thrived on, and she may say something differently, but I don't care what she says. She might say, I just didn't trust her and I pushed her away. And that is true. That is correct if she says that. That is absolutely true. Absolutely true. I didn't trust her. And it's because of things that had happened that kept coming back to me. And the only person that knew was her. So nevertheless, I always find myself in going through life and just kind of closing it. So I had to recently close my circle. My circle's been closed for about 10 years. I'm not gonna lie. My circles have really been closed right now. But I do trust people. I do trust a limited amount of people. And the reality is you have to find people that you can actually trust. And y'all hit the like for me, because y'all know I'm trying to build my channel. Y'all please subscribe to me. Please like my channel, because guess what? I don't have enough. I'm trying to get to 1,000K just like everybody else, so I can bring in another income for YouTube for me, so I can say, hey, husband, I'm actually doing something. Because he's like, you always on that YouTube. And I don't feel like hurt his mouth. He be on me like, why you always on YouTube? I'm like, man, it's cold on YouTube. And he be on YouTube, and he like, you talking to this person, because he knows. I'm like, yeah, I talk to Brother World. I talked to Brother Melvin. I talked to this person. I talked to SL Davis. I talked to all these other energies, Sister Angel, and all these people. He's like, well, what do you do with it? I mean, where, you're supposed to be, and I'm like hearing all that. But anyway, nevertheless, and then I got a business. He's like, well, your business doing good, but you still gotta, if you're gonna do YouTube, then do YouTube. Do it right. So anyway, y'all like my channel so I can shut this man up. Anyway, so nevertheless, my hair done messed up. Wait a minute, y'all, I'm trying to get my hair back cute. Okay, there is it cute now? Okay, anyway, it's been hard. It had been hard in the past. And I think what happened was, once I met my biological mother, I think a lot of things, my energy is on the terms of trust, my energy of having a better understanding about people, because, and believing people, it really helped to heal that aspect of me. I've been healed a lot of aspects of my life, but I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that portion wasn't still lingering, because it definitely, thank you, Lotus, thank you. No, you're right. So I really, really wanted to get that healing back. I really wanted to get that part back. I wanted to take that back. I wanted to take back the whole feeling insecurity of being adopted. I wanted to take that back. So I really started sharing with people about that and the experiences I had as being an adopted child, and explaining to them why I didn't trust people, and explaining to some of my cousins who I grew up with why I was so pushed back, because I've had a lot of cousins who would always try to connect with me, would always want to hang out with me, and always want to build. And I would just be really mean at times. Or it would be times when I just pushed them away without really saying or expressing myself. And I had cousins my very own age, or at least close to my age, which I should have had a friendship with, but I just didn't really feel, I felt weird. I feel like I couldn't trust them. Oh my God, my food is burning up. Y'all hold on 1 second. Oh Lord, wait a minute. I forgot I had my food in there. Wait a minute. It's don't look at me. Hold on 1 second. Now that's crazy. Sorry about that, y'all. My food was burning. These are vegan chicken things. I wanted to try them for the first time. Anyway, they fake, they vegan fake chicken, whatever that is. But anyway, I wanted to try it. Sorry about that, y'all. I gotta be my sister hype woman. That's right, you do it. Anyway, you do it. Be my hype person. Give it to me. No. Anyway, sorry about that, y'all. Who does a live and forget they had something in the oven? I don't know, because the reason why because I've already eaten. It was just basically for tomorrow, and I kind of wanted to try it today just to see how it was. But I'm gonna put it back in the oven. I'm gonna put it back in the refrigerator. But nevertheless, yes, it is small. My circle, now, just like I said, I have family. And so once I let go of that after meeting my biological mom, I found myself more. You do that stuff too, higher thinking? Yep, I sure forgot. But now I find myself more wanting to open up more, and just really expressing myself a lot more than what I did before, because I used to be just kind of closed off, and I would only share to this certain group of people, this small little group of people. And I always wanted to develop this sisterhood. I always wanted to have a sisterhood, and I always wanted to have a brotherhood. And I've always, back in the day, I used to be one of those sisters who used to have a whole bunch of men around her, because I just connected better with men because of the conversations I could have because back then, you felt like you could have more of an intellectual conversation with men. That's not necessarily true, right? We know that that's a stereotype, because you can have intellectual conversations with anybody if they're into intellect, okay? But nevertheless, I always felt like I was a part of the boys, the guys. And the guys always tell me, you're not a part of the guys. You with us because we like you, but you still a girl. You still a woman. We not tripping, but we just want you to understand. Somebody gonna like you out the crowd, so don't trip. But whatever. So I started having these different connections, and I started trying to build a sisterhood. And when I got into the movement, I was like, cool, I got some sisters. We can roll, we can connect. And that was a misconception. That went bad. So once you start trying to connect and build with these different sisters, it's always going to be some things that you may not understand at the time that I was kind of, I was a tomboy, but I was still feminine. Does that make sense? I could still play. I used to play playing basketball. I was kind of a basketball player. I wasn't really a fast runner, but I could run a little bit. But I mostly liked reading. I really read a lot. Oh, just to promote my cousin book. I mean, not my cousin, my bio uncle's book. This is his book. Imagine him, my uncle that I've never met before in my life, to be on some of the same things that I'm on. Y'all understand? Anyway, he does sell this book. However, it used to be on Amazon. I think he took it off. He has another book. I'm still reading this book. I mean, it's really a quick read, but for me, I'm so nutty bird that I read I read 3 books at one time, so it's taking me a little bit longer. And as y'all can see, this is part of my library. That's not even all of my library. That's some of my library. It's throughout my house. But nevertheless, I read a lot. I read probably too much. And because I read all these different books at one time, my mind be like, blah, 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 blah. You see how I talk? That's how I read. That's how I read. Anyway. Thank you. Thank you, Omega. Thank you. So because I'm on this because I had gotten on the thing of thinking about breaking down these barriers. And so I really started back because again, if you're a true healer, okay, or just a person who wants to evolve, if you're a true evolutionary, let's call it an evolutionary, not just me being a healer, but let me put some perspective on it because it's not just me being a healer, but it's about us being us, right? And if you're a true evolutionary, woman I deal with you has been in my life for 15, 25. Yes, Virgo. Yes. Um, I got along better with guys and friendships level. Like, yeah, I did too at first. I don't now. I'm just kind of, I just want to deal with my family. And sometimes they get on my nerves, but whatever. Um, I love to read. It's a lost art because of people using ebooks. Yeah, I have actual physical books. I have physical books over there in every part of my home. In every part of my home, just to share with you a couple. Here's another library, another bookshelf. See all those books on there, and then there's some over there. Okay. Anyway, trust me when I tell y'all, I have yes, I keep a clean house. I can't take mess. I sometimes I can be OCD. My desk is a little messed up right now because I have all these books on here, my laptop case and everything. But I like a clean spot. I can't take it. I don't even walk on that side right now because I vacuumed it and I don't want to mess it up because I'm gonna have to go back and vacuum it. But anyway, who's a Pisces? I'm a Taurus. I'm a Taurus sun and I'm a Taurus moon. So yeah, I'm not a Pisces. I'm not a Pisces. My daughter's a Pisces though. Woo! She worked my nerves. I'm ready to go. If I could just smack her little ears together. But anyway, she get on my nerves the most, and then my youngest child, which is a Capricorn, get on my nerves. Secondly, and then my third child, he's an Aries. He get on my nerves too, but he gets on my nerves in a different way. But anyway, what did you say, Nina? I am a reader. That's why what we led me to do YouTube for a break. Guys, always want his loyal friends. I have best friend for 130 years and Taurus gang. Yes, Taurus. Yes, Taurus. Taurus. Anyway, peace. Anyway, so for me, it just became an issue when you constantly have all these energies coming at you and who to trust and who to find pardon with and what areas to break down. So as an evolutionary, we all have to evolve. So we have to find somebody in our life that we really can trust. Oh my God, we have to find people who we can trust because obviously you can't trust everybody. Hello, you cannot trust everybody. You can trust that people are going to do shit that's not going to be trustworthy. And you can trust people with certain things. Okay. Some people is just like that. I've learned that throughout my whole life. What the elder said was truthful and what my father said was truthful. I remember times when I used to lock my door, when I used to lock the bathroom door when I went in, and my father would be like, lock the door when I'm here, not because he was going to do anything to me, but he said because he wanted me to get used to locking the door when I'm over to other people's houses and to the bathroom because he didn't want, to bust in on me like that. But then when my mother would be there, he'd be like, don't lock the door with your mother because something may happen to you, And so again, not that he would do anything to me, but he wanted me to get used to trusting my mother, to really trusting my mother, but not trusting outside of my mother. So yeah, we're all strong-headed. My father is a Taurus as well, and my mother was a Cancer. So that dynamic was wild. Boy, that dynamic was wild because she would cry and he'd be like, what you crying for? You know what I mean? And it was just really weird. We wouldn't even be doing anything. And she would just burst out and cry, be like, yo, I'm just going to get out of here. I'd be like, bye. And me and my dad would be like, bye, see you later. And we would just be so mean to my mother for real. Now that looking back on it, I really felt sorry for my mother because my mother was really a sweet person with her Cancer self. but she had a great way of manipulating you. And I don't mean in a negative way. I mean, she was so sweet with her manipulation. I mean, really sweet. That's why I don't think manipulation is always a bad thing, but that's another story. Manipulation just means to move something. And my mother just wanted stuff to move. It'll benefit you and it benefited her. So I don't mind that kind of manipulation. I like a manipulation if it's going to better me and it's going to better you, but I need to know what it is. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of how my husband be like, great manipulation, baby, great manipulation. I'll be like, what? And I'll just smile, going, I didn't manipulate. I did. But again, I like beneficial manipulation. I like people to tell me upfront what is it that they expect out of me, because I don't like people to bullshit me, you know. And I think a lot of times, especially in these, how can you really trust people if they don't really open up to you and let you know what their motive is with you? And that's why throughout life, I've tried to tell people, well, this is my motive for dealing with you. I'm dealing with you based off this premises. I'm dealing with you because I see something special in you, and hopefully you see it too, and we can be cool, you know. Or I think you're a great person. I think you do great work, or whatever the case is. And that's all I want. I just like people to do great. Your mother was a Libra and your father was a Cancer. That must have been a unique situation. That was a unique situation. I'm telling you, that Libra probably got tired of that Cancer crying sometimes, because I'm telling you, it worked my nerves. It worked me and my daddy nerves. And then my daughter's a Pisces, and then she'll cry and I'll just be looking at her. And she'd be like, you're so cold. And my daughter probably thinks that I'm the meanest person in the world, but I'm really not mean. I just don't like the bullshit. I can't do bullshit because she don't know how to manipulate people. She manipulates people, and it never makes sense, you know, when she does her manipulation, because one minute it don't be for everybody's benefit, it's only for her benefit. And that's the thing I don't. Female Pisces can be unique energies. I'm just gonna say that. I think that out of all of the zodiac signs, I think Pisces are probably Pisces and Cancers. Since y'all on that, since y'all bringing up Cancer, okay, I'm gonna get on that. So I think Cancers and Pisces and even Aries are probably the sweetest people. I'm not saying all the other zodiacs aren't, because I think that they have their possibilities to be great and do nice things and be respectful and cute. But I think out of all those signs, those are probably the sweetest energies. However, the Pisces is definitely one of the biggest manipulators, especially the women Pisces. And y'all don't be mad at me for saying this. Preem, what's that? What's that sweet pea? You think I think you was a preem. What's that? What's preem? You thought I was a preem. What's that mean? So anyway, yeah. So I find myself, so that's one of the things I've noticed. And I think that Tauruses, I think you was a me. I was a you. I was like me, like you. Explain the whole concept again. I'm sorry. I would like thought you were opposite. So yeah, I've noticed that with that particular sign, and so I find myself, I think Pisces women are always attracted to my energy, and I don't mean attracted like ooh, but every Pisces I know want to be my friend. And I'm like, I don't know why, because y'all think I'm mean, and why do you want to be my friend? And I just could never understand why a Pisces woman want to be my friend, because they always say I'm mean. I'm really not mean. I have why? Okay, let me be honest. I am a little mean, just a little bit, but I don't mean to be. I just cannot. I just can't take. I I don't like bullshit. I just don't. I have a a low tolerance for bullshit, and I don't like people to always ask me to do something for them all the time. And I think a lot of times people always want to ask me to do something. People think because I can work from home and I have a healing center, so I either work from home or I go to my healing center. And people think that because I have my own business that I have free reign to go pick them up or go babysit their children or go do this or go do that for them. Even my husband to a degree, don't get me wrong, I don't mind doing it, but sometimes it could be too much. Sometimes I'm like, I hadn't really planned on getting dressed today. Everybody knows if I'm not at the healing center and I'm at home, I'm rocking PJs. But because my husband left his shirt at the house for his job, of course I had to go take it to him. He left it clearly on the step, and I'm just thinking to myself, I should have never told him that he left it on the step. But unfortunately, I did because I wanted to keep it real. Let me see what y'all saying in here. Balanced. What's balanced, y'all? Gemini, do okay, here we go. Let me go up here. Oh, wait a minute. I'm missing some. Explain a Libra, please. Okay, let me go back up here. I'm sorry. Am I skipping some of y'all comments? I apologize. If y'all want to repost them, if I have not answered any of your questions in here, please feel free to repost them, and I'll be happy to do that since we're on that. I don't have a problem with going off the topic. It's still, it's our show, y'all. We do what we want here. Okay, explain Libra, please. That's the last thing I saw. Okay, so explaining Libras are fly by night type of people. My daughter's father is actually a Libra. And I think he was a sweet person. He was a sweet person, but he wasn't really, he was like a lot of Libras, not all, but a lot of Libras, especially men, are kind of Peter Pan energies. And let me explain what I mean by that. They are kind of fly by night type of energies, whereas when you're trying to focus on this or you're trying to focus on that, and when you're ready to progress and grow, Libras are kind of be in the same space in a lot of times, not always, and then they have to be nudged a little more to progress. But they will progress though. But sometimes you have to nudge them to progress. Not all the time. But I found that they had a lot of energy, of child energy. And I mean, they were really connected. Libras are really connected to their children energy, the child within them energy. And that's not a bad thing. They know how to have fun. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. Whereas a Taurus, we're very seriously, so they will get on my nerves after a while. But a Libra definitely has the energy to connect within their childlike energy. And they don't like to see people mistreated. They have a scale, like that scale is real. Like they believe in fairness, but sometimes their fairness is about it being fair for them. If they're on the outside, they're a better judge of characters when they're on the outside looking in. They're better to see when someone's being taken advantage of to other people. And so you will find a Libra jumping into somebody else's situation if they feel like someone's being taken advantage of. So I think that's a great quality. A Libra has a lot of great qualities. But they fly by nights. It's just hard to be in a relationship with them unless you're kind of here, you're there. So I think I found that Libras and Geminis probably make great energies for each other on certain basis because of the Gemini has that tick-tock switch. They'll be hot and cold at the same damn time. So with them particular energies, you will find them being a little bit more, you find them a little bit more, I'm going to answer that. Y'all repost some stuff if I missed it. I apologize if I missed. I'm trying to go back up. Yeah, Cancers are needy, so are Pisces women and men too, some of them. My sister is a Taurus and she holds grudges. Yes, I can hold grudge. I can forgive people too. I know how to forgive people, believe it or not. I just wouldn't trust them no more, but we'll still be cool. Um, no, I don't forget nothing. That's true. Okay, so Cancer, so Gemini and Libras can possibly be a great match for each other. But they have to know how each other work. Yes, that sounds like my mother. Where the hell am I at? Y'all, come on, help me, help me, help me, please, help me, help me, help me. Where am I at? Come on, y'all, I gotta go back up. Uh, I understand. Yeah, it's definitely like I said. I'm a Taurus sun and I'm a Taurus moon, so it that kind of matters. And then it also matters if you're on the cusp or not. So that does play a part in a lot of things. So but just as a general thing. Where am I at, y'all? Repost, y'all. Repost. If I'm not answering your stuff, repost, please. I'm not ignoring you. Somebody asked me, I think someone asked, my kid's mom is a Taurus and we always clash. Well, what sign are you? Brother Melvin. While Brother Melvin's answering that, what's zodiac sign are you? My brother is a Gemini. He always has two sides to think. Yeah, I can imagine. I have a lot of Gemini in my chart as well. So I'm that's why I'm stuck on the stuff that I'm stuck on. But if someone gives me a reasonable explanation, and if it's something that I feel like budging on, I will. But if it's not, I don't care. So yeah, I can be hard-headed at times. Do my children? I think someone asked, do my children get along? My daughter and my son, my oldest child, which is a girl, and my oldest boy, my second oldest, which is a boy. Them two live in. Of course, all my children in their 20s. Those two live together, and he's an Aries, she's a Pisces, so he can live with anybody because he's so earthly until you piss him off. When you piss him off, he probably will black out or he'll leave. So they get along. My youngest child, which is a Capricorn, and my daughter, she rides for him and he will ride for her. They're not gonna let nothing happen to each other. They're gonna stand up for each other, but they're kind of like they bump heads a lot. They bump heads. I'm not gonna lie. Them two bump heads. And it's like, I'm not I didn't grow up with, I grew up as an only child because I was adopted, but I'm not now. I'm not really an only child. Of course, and I have a brother. I think his name is Larry Fryer Jr. And I have a couple more siblings that I feel like I have. But thank you, Shanti. But I find that I'm not used to how sibling relationships work. Well, I wasn't until I had my children. And so I wasn't used. I used to make them hug each other. I used to make them stop fighting. And I still find myself jumping into their jush still. If my son called me and say, what your daughter on? Or my daughter texts me, what your son on? And I'd be like, look, y'all need to work that out. Or I'll make my middle child butt in and fix it. But I don't like them to get into it because sometimes they would have this thing. My son would be like, I don't trust her. And she'd be like, I don't know why he don't trust me. She do talk a lot though, so I could see certain points, but she still has his best interest. She's his sister. I mean, what's she gonna do to him? She can't help who she is. She just talk a lot and she be, she be trying to get stuff for herself sometimes. And you just have to check her and keep it moving. Let's see. Did I miss any comments, y'all? If I missed something, please type it back in here. If I missed something, please type it back in here. Please, 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 please. Let me text my son. He's texting. I'm telling you, they don't know how to stop getting on my nerves. This boy, I literally stay right around the corner from him. He is asking me what my address is. I'm telling you, I stay 3 minutes from him. And he's asking me what my address is. Hell, I can't even remember my address. Oh, yeah. Okay, give me a second here. Okay. That is so annoying. People always bother you doing something. You're a Libra? You're a Libra, brother Melvin? Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I didn't really get along with my son's father as we were parenting, but I got along with his girlfriends. I got along with his girlfriends more. His first girlfriend after we broke up was a Taurus. So we got along. No, second girlfriend. The first girlfriend, I forgot what sign she was, but I got along smashing with all his women. So I really enjoyed his girlfriends along the way. We really got along, and we used to go out for drinks and everything. But I got along with his women more. So what you have to do is find a common thing. You may have to have a third party get in on it, because Libras, for me, I would never be with a Libra again. But I think that we got along better as friends, as long as we didn't have to parent or have to have an opinion about something, because he always felt a certain way, and he could. And with Libras don't make up their mind about stuff. Libra, it's like pick a freaking side. Sometimes y'all say y'all on the side of right, but sometimes it's not always about right. Sometimes it's just about, we're team, roll with me. We'll talk about it later. You know what I mean? And he wasn't really that type of person. And I remember one time, I'm telling all my business. But I remember one time we were walking home. This was in high school, y'all. Just keep that in mind. This wasn't no adult situation. But we were in high school. It was right before he got his driver's license. And we were walking home, and these guys was getting ready to trying to fight us, because they said I was cute, and he was just standing there looking crazy. And we got to walking home. He wasn't really mad. He was a man, but he wasn't really from the streets like that. You know what I mean? He wasn't really like that. And it is what it is. But at the time, thinking, you don't think about that. You be like, dang, you a punk, you soft. But he wasn't really, he wasn't about that life, right? I was kind of more about that life. And the guys was talking, and I said, what you say about my man? And I'm just running my mouth. I said, we can fight right now. They say, baby girl, we don't want to fight you. We want to fight him because he's soft. And from that, and he just kind of walked home, and it's like, he's like, come on, leave them men alone. What? You know what I mean? So for me, he just always, and then like if a particular person had a problem with me, he would never really stand up for me like that. He would stand up, but it would always be, well, I could see that particular person's side. What? So it would just be things like that. But then he would do some off the wall stuff. So I could understand why y'all probably don't get along. Not saying that you're like that, but I think that for dealing with her as a Taurus, I think you should probably have a third party to come in and deal with her, so it's not so, clashing all the time. And I think sometimes with a Taurus, sometimes we be in our feelings at times, and some things that people say, we have certain triggers, like all human beings, right? It's certain triggers, and there are certain trigger words that we may say, that people may say to us, and we take the extreme, because we take things, extreme, because we're extremists, and we take things so extreme that we kind of take things out of portion. With you all are trying to be this balanced energy. Y'all trying to be balanced. Y'all like, well, but no, it's not like that. So I think that, for now, it'll get better once your child gets older, because we'll stop giving a damn. but it's gonna be, it's intense while you all are parenting, and because I'm sure that's what some of it's about. And she probably bringing up old stuff too, though. But whatever. I know what kind of Libra you had, cause my twin brother was staying 10 toes down. Yeah, that's kind of how he was. He didn't really pick a side. Yeah, I understand, Virgo. But he really didn't pick a side. But see, I never done his chart. Well, I've never done his chart because I don't care now. Because that was like over 20 something years ago. So I don't give a damn about his chart. But if I were to ever do his chart, I'm sure he's not a complete Libra. But I'm just saying, with certain Libras, you have them and they don't really know how to take certain stand. They believe they're on the point of justice and they like the balance. And because sometimes you wanted things to be balanced, sometimes people won't take that energy, although they won't. You still, even in being in a balanced situation, you still have to pick a side in certain cases. In some cases, you have to still make a decision. I guess that's a better word, not picking a side, but making a decision. You all are very indecisive. Libras are very indecisive. Now, y'all can't tell me nothing about that. Now, Libras are very indecisive. And because he had this incisiveness about him, it made it difficult on certain things. And I always felt like that was problematic for me, because it's either yes or no. Do you want this coffee right here, which is almond milk? Do you want this coffee or not? I'm a Virgo and we are like opposites in certain things. Oh, absolutely. My first husband was a Virgo. I stayed with him for 20 something years. We stayed together for a very, very long time. I was with him for a long time, for a very long time. But I think that because he was an asshole, and then my asshole ish energy and his asshole energy really didn't clash, and it was like he was in love with me when I wasn't in love with him, and it would be times where I would be in love with him and he wouldn't be in love with me. So we were never on the same page. And really looking back on it, we never should have gotten married, to be honest with you. Even going back before, when we were dating, we were never on the same page. Never on the same page. And when he really wanted to dedicate himself and energy toward me, I was just like, whatever. I mean, I tried that an hour ago and you weren't feeling me, so forget it. So we would never be on the same page. Yes, Virgos are meticulous. They are the type of people, whereas it has to make logical sense. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with this. Everything, okay, let me say this. Everything that is a negative can always be a positive for different types of energies. So, for example, me being stubborn and bullheaded because somebody tells me, no, don't do this, I'm going to do it anyway, right? That has gotten me a lot of accomplishments. That's gotten a lot of things done, because they was like, oh, you got all these children, you got 3 children, you're not going to be able to finish college. I was like, oh no, I'll show you. You know what I mean? You ain't going to be able to get all those degrees. You know how many degrees I got? But we ain't going to discuss that. But the point is, the fact that someone told me I couldn't do it, that's what made me work harder. Okay, you get what I'm saying? But then if it's something like in the streets where if my father say, don't go home, don't go over there, and somebody gets shot, you know what I mean? So that's the negative part of it. Okay, but anyway. So yeah. Right. So it has to be because my father was a Cancer. He was mean and stubborn. My daughter is a Cancer and she is clingy. Yes, my mother was clingy too. My mother used to beg me to hang out with her, and as a teenager, and I just didn't want to do it. I wanted to do it as a child when I was little. When I became a teenager, I was like, no, give me the credit card. Let me go and be with my friends. And she'd be like, I'll give you the credit card if you just hang with me. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, Mom, fine. Can I bring a friend? And she'd be like, yeah, bring a friend. And then my friend and us got some stuff. And then I stopped wanting to bring my friend because I'm like, wait a minute, she getting stuff too. I don't want her to have nothing extra. But anyway, yeah. I'm like that. My aunt took too long to teach me, so I taught my damn self. Yeah. Hi, Dice TV. Y'all, if I'm missing anything, please type it in here. Please type it back in here because I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm just trying to get used to these dang on comments. So I always find myself being so it can be difficult. I'm gonna first say I'm a Taurus, and I find it difficult in dealing with anybody because of the fact that we are loners by nature. We are loners by nature. And sometimes my daughter, her being a Pisces, she be want to sit under me sometimes. And I be like, go home. And my stepchildren be over here. One of my stepchildren is a Capricorn. My other stepchild, I'm calling them that so you all know that, technically I got 5. Well, I have 2 stepchildren. They're here every other weekend. They're not here all the time. They're just here on every other weekend. But they're still my children. They're just my stepchildren. But they're not just my stepchildren, but to reiterate who they are to you all. So because you all like, well, you just said you had 3 children. Well, technically I have 3 children biologically, but then I have 2 stepchildren from my husband. So I don't call them, hey, stepchild. Who does that? But for the purpose of talking to you guys, I have to call them stepchildren. I said you may have been a preemie. You were, or for sure. Okay. Well, I'm May the 3rd. My mother carried me full birth, full term. But yeah, I'm definitely a Taurus. No, I'm every bit. I promise you, I'm May 3rd. I'm every bit of a Taurus. Everything about a Taurus. Even before I knew what a Taurus was, I would have known that I was a Taurus. Y'all understand? But however, let me go. I digress. It's definitely difficult in dealing with me. I could imagine, and I'm a good woman. I know that I'm a good woman. I hold my man down. If he asks me to do something, I'm there. Whatever he needs within reason. Some things I'll be like, no, I'm not doing that. But my husband's never really asked me to do something that I didn't want to do. But one thing, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. We're not doing that. So get that out your head. But that's another discussion. You May 8th? Yeah. Taurus. But for the most part, I know it's difficulty in dealing with me because I think in the beginning, a lot of times when I first get with a man, I do expect him to jump through fire, brimstone, and barbed wire fence just to get me to trust him because of things I've gone through in my past and because of the whole adoption thing. And then just being in different relationships. And sometimes, hell, somebody shouldn't have trusted me. So I think a lot of times, I think that I think part of the problem with a lot of these relationships is that we're not really honest with each other. And I know I've lied. I've tried to lie in my past relationships, but I was never good at lying. I used to always get busted because I wasn't a good liar. I'm not. I'm just gonna tell you, so I just might as well tell you the truth. It's just no point in me lying because I'm horrible at lying. I remember I had to testify for somebody, and I set up on the stand, and I knew when we had this all planned out. I got up on this stand and froze. Y'all hear me? And I felt so bad. Hold on, let me open my door for my son. Who is it? Who is it? Your grandson. Your grandson. Lock the door, grandson. Yes. And also, if you're gonna go to sleep, go up in that other room. You going to school tomorrow? You got school tomorrow? Yeah. Take your shoes off. Okay, I'm sorry about that, y'all. My grandson is something else. Y'all want to see him? I can't spend the night over here. Yeah, you are spending the night. My mom. Well, when she come back, she'll come get you. Say hi to the YouTube. Okay. Take off your hat. Hello, everybody. It's me. What's your name? It's me, Malik Harris. Okay. They can't see you. Okay. All right. I need my hat. You need your hat. Okay. Take off your shoes. Go upstairs in that room with the TV in it. Yes, ma'am. I will. Okay. Thank you, brother. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, little brother. Understood. Okay. All right. Your kid's mom's May the 3rd. Y'all May the 3rd. You and I will get along as long as we're not in a relationship, Brother Melvin. It'll be bad. Because I know I think you're a good person though, but I'm just being honest with you. I just know how I am. And I think the only relationship, and I've had at least 3 serious relationships in my life. One was with my child's father. The second one was with my husband, the father of my boys. And my third relationship, which I'm in now, my husband now, right? He's a Leo. So I don't even know. I have no idea or clue how this works, but I can tell you that, yeah, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Yeah, brother Melvin, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not getting ready to lie to you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you that I'm better with certain zodiac signs. I'm better as a friend than I would be as a woman. I'm being honest. But this Leo that I'm with, I don't. But every relationship I've been in, I have not always had their back. Just to be honest with you. So I can't really say that this particular relationship or this particular person was horrible, or because if I were to say that, I would be lying. I would say that they weren't that good. We didn't do well together. I wasn't that good in that relationship, and neither was them, together. But them being with other people, thumbs up. Or me being in this situation, thumbs up. Now, my husband, he could never ever say that it was a time when I never had his back. He could never say that. He could never ever say that I've never had his back or that I wasn't a good woman to him. He could never say that. But what I find what works within a Taurus and a Leo's relationship, but he's a Taurus, but he's a Leo Sagittarius though. So he got some stuff going on. But he's very stern. What helped me to relate better with him, because my ex being a Virgo, and they're very sensitive, they can be sensitive at times. I'm not really sensitive. When I'm sensitive, but I'm not as I'm the opposite when I'm with a particular person. So if the man is sensitive, I'm not going to be. If a man is hard, then I'm going to be sensitive. You know what I mean? So it's better for me to. My grandmother always told me, "Ain't nobody going to lie to you." I'm just telling you, I'm not good at lying. So for me, that was another reason why it didn't work. He would be more sensitive and compassionate with his situation, but not toward mine. And the only time he would pick and choose where he felt like compassion was necessary. And he would be compassionate about stuff that he shouldn't have been very compassionate about. And the stuff that I wanted him to be compassionate about, he wasn't really compassionate about. Like I could be like, such and such died, and that could be a relative. He wouldn't give a damn. He'd be like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? But then I'd be like, oh my God, I had a problem at this particular spot. He'd be like, oh my God, you okay? And it was just like, I really didn't care about that, But I think what happened, what helps with this Leo in Taurus situation, I think what happens with that is the fact that my father's a Taurus. My father's a Taurus Scorpio. Whew. But he don't know that. I'm like, Daddy, you a Taurus Scorpio. He ain't no damn Scorpio. I'm a Taurus. I'm like, you a Taurus Scorpio, right? But whatever. They are kind of, my father's very stern. So I grew up in a household where my mother worked, but she didn't have to, but it was her career, She could have very well sit at home and my father could have afforded all the bills, but she was a school teacher and she loved doing it. It wasn't just because she went to school for it, but she was passionate about that. Okay. So she loved her career. She was all about children. She loved children. She loved helping children. She used to bring some home too. Oh my God, y'all. Oh, they used to get on my nerves. they used to get on my nerves. I was just like, why don't you just adopt another child so I can have a brother? No, it's one of you. You are 5 people. I'm like, whatever. I grew up with that my whole life. But anyway, so what helped is the fact that my father was stern, and the fact that my father was masculine. My father is very masculine. And the fact that, my mother would get up every morning and cook breakfast and, pack him a lunch. My father didn't have to eat out unless he wanted to, eat at restaurants. That's what helped, because I grew up in that environment, is nothing to me. And then I was like, and then when you rebel, I went against and rebelled against my father, and I got with my ex-husband. But most little girls, good or bad, attract who their fathers are, right? In some cases, that can be really good. In other cases, not so bad. Not so much. You I don't know. Never met one. Would like to though. What would you like to meet? I'm a nurse and I'm really affectionate toward my patients and fight doctor to the end. But relationship wise, not so much. I understand. I understand. But I do really good in this particular relationship. And I think the reason why I do well, because my parents used to spoil me, and I was definitely spoiled, and I was always told that I was special. I was always told I was unique. I was always told that, that I could do whatever it is that I want to do on the terms of being great and this energy. And then my mother was a school teacher, so that was kind of hard because she expected certain levels from me in academia. She expected me to do this and do that academic wise because she was a teacher. And then she would try to tutor me, and it really got on her nerves. She just get frustrated because that's because of her expectations. But she didn't do her students like that, but she'll do me like that. But whatever. That was part of my painting job. But I understand she just had expectations. But the thing is, on the terms of, because my father was stern and because my father was a man's man, my father really, my mother used to bring her food into him, and I always thought like I didn't want that. I always felt like when I was growing up, I always felt like my mother was a slave. But when you're young, you think like that because you don't want, you see all these different things on TV, and you see how the woman be talking back and going off on men, and you look at that, you be like, yeah, that's right. But then in your own home, your mother's like very positive towards your father. Don't get it twisted. Now sometimes she'll have to get gangster with him sometimes, and he'll back down when she really got upset. But for the most part, he was very domineering. But looking back on it, what is the word? I said it earlier. I rebelled against that, and so I got me a man, my first husband, like I said, who was really. I'm not saying he was feminine. I'm not saying that he was a Virgo. So he wasn't feminine, but he wasn't as hard as my father was. You know what I mean? He wasn't as stern as my father was. Like, even when it came to my children, I was more the disciplinary action than as opposed to him, and that got on my nerves. But my dad is an Aries and my mom's a Taurus. They probably get along really good. My mom taught me the special needs kids, and my father was a contractor who taught special needs kids. I told my mom that I would never be like her, and a man served him as well. Okay. Yeah, I was like that. But then when I got older and I understood how, I didn't realize I was traditional, that I had some traditional values. Like, I have a lot of traditional values, and then other values not so much. You know what I mean? Some things I'm kind of in with the flow, and I'm kind of balanced within the universe. I know I sound great. I'm kind of balanced within the dynamics of things, and I'm kind of like, okay, I'll go with the flow. I understand. But a lot of ways, I do have a lot of traditional points to me. So yes, I got with my husband. I met him and we dated, and he was like a Muslim at the time. Excuse me. And he was kind of stern in the sort of things. He'd be like, babe, because I used to wear whatever I wanted to wear, I still do for the most part. It's just now, but it's a thing where if he sees something, he'd be like, babe, you shouldn't wear it like that. Put something under that because, I can see, you need to put a slip on. I can see, your business. You don't want everybody to see your business. You're a married woman, So it's certain things that I began to do along the way. And it's just out of respect for him because I cared about him. And as I grew, I began to understand that I was like, well, dang, my mother wasn't really serving my father to be a slave. This is just tradition for her. And she was strong. She was 10 toes down. So let me tell you what happened. So my mother wound up having Alzheimer's, getting diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And so guess who had to wait on her hand and foot? My father. Okay. So my father took care of her all the way up until her death. Okay. And that's one of the things. And I had a conversation with my father some months back, like recently. And he was like, well, your mother never really served me. She just wanted to take care of me, and I took care of her. In return, I took care of her. I was like, well, how so? And he started breaking it down. He's like, well, I paid all the bills, right? I paid all the bills. And it wasn't a thing where I felt like she had to do this or she had to do that. But your mother loved to cook. He cooked too sometimes. It wasn't as good as my mother's cooking, but don't tell him I told you that. But he did cook sometimes. My mother was an excellent cook. Even to the point where she had like 3 cookbooks. And I'm like, Dad, can I get one of my mom's cookbooks? He's like, yeah, you can get one. I found them. He only gave me one. And then he didn't even give me the one that she written in. He gave me one of the ones like a cookbook, not her personal book. I'm looking like, he said, well, I need this other one. For what? You ain't even cooking like that. You ain't even cooking good like that. You just making string beans and potatoes sometimes. But anyway, that's enough about my pain. But so yes, it is. I agree. So for me, I didn't mind. So when I understood that concept, I understood that a long time ago, is that I love taking care of my husband. I love being the homemaker. I love, decorating our home, and I love cleaning up. I love cooking for him. I love, taking care of him. He takes care of me too, but just in a different way, just financially and different things like that. I can work if I want to. He prefers me not to. He wants me to have a business, so he'd rather work hard and I have my business. But I like having a business more so. My father took care of my mom to the end, so I too see why she did what she did. She passed in 2003 and he passed in 2009. My mother died in 3 years ago, June the 3rd or the 4th, was it? And it was right before her birthday. It was like a few weeks before her birthday. So I understand. Do you feel like you would work in all aspects of your relationship? I mean, physically and financially and spiritually. You're asking Omega Sunlight. Okay, so I want to answer that too. Do you feel like you would work in all aspects of your relationship? I feel like I feel like relationships take hard work at different times. Sometimes it's more work than other times. And would I work I mean physically and financially, spiritually? If I had to go out and work, I mean, I worked before in my relationship. I've had I've had other jobs. I have I've had actual jobs working for other people. I've actually have owned my own business a lot of times in my life. This is not the first business that I have had, but yeah, I would if I have to. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that, brother Mel. But I will work if I have to. If my husband, something happens to my husband and my husband needs me to kick in, I would. I mean, it's what it is. I mean, we don't have no choice. We gotta eat. We still gotta live nice. We live pretty decent, and I like to continue that stride. I would like to continue that strive. So no, I wouldn't. But do I like necessarily working for other people? No, because I don't like having people to have that control over me because of the whole firing and diring type of thing. I don't really like that. Well, get your own business, Virgo. You can do whatever it is that you need to do, Virgo. And my condolences to you as well. But yeah, get your own business. Ain't no point of, I would always tell people to keep their job and then just start and then build a business. Start by building a business. So do both until your business becomes where it subsides more than your income and it's regular and it's more permanent. Then you're able to quit your job, and only you'll know that. I used to love to take care of my ex because I grew up seeing my mom care for my father. Is that seeing? Um, yeah, I love taking care of my husband though. I don't mind doing that. I take care of him. He takes care of me. I love to cook. He cooks too. He'll clean up too. I'm not a slave. My father cleaned up too, just not as much as my mother, because my mother cleaned up better than he did. And I clean up better than my husband, and I cook better than my husband. My husband could cook a little something. He cooks on Sunday sometimes when he feels like it. He'll go in there and fry us up some food or whatever it is. We eat the same thing, so he'll go in there and fry something up if he feel like. Or he'll be like, "Come in here, come downstairs with me and cut up the onions for me, and I'll cook." And he'll clean up too. When we moved all our stuff and he moved all the heavy stuff, I moved a little bit. I didn't move as much. I didn't move as much as a normal person would move, but I moved more than what I had anticipated. Okay. Uh, my son keep texting me, asking my grandson to ask him something. I'm not finna do all that. Now, what do you look forward to seeing in your content? What do we look forward to seeing in your content, Dr. Barrow? You have a good flow. I don't know. Whatever y'all want to talk about. I definitely would talk about healing, zodiac signs. I love zodiac. Y'all know I love talking about that, but it's not everything's not gonna be based on zodiac and your natal chart. You know what that sounds like. I'm not gonna say, hey, pull up your natal chart. We're gonna tell you what it is. No, this ain't that type of party. No. But we'll talk about zodiac signs. We'll talk about healing purposes, relationships. I would definitely share a lot of things with you all with my life that I can share. That's not, especially past stuff. I like to rather deal with past stuff, but I really don't have any issues within my marriage, to be honest with you. My daughter gets on my nerves. I know that's not a part of my marriage, but that's the only thing that and children, adoption, being adoptee, and I'm also adopting some children also. But definitely, adoption, coffee. Y'all love coffee. I'm like world on that. I'm like world on that. I love me some coffee, y'all. I love coffee. But I love tea though. I love tea and coffee, but it's all, at least it's almond milk and it don't have all that junk in it. So, but it's coffee, and I drink and I water, and we'll talk about waters. We'll talk about different things to eat, different. I don't want to say but I said it again, and when I say don't say I'll say what to want to walk and live with my ride and date and die. Want to walk? You want to ride or die? You want somebody to live with? Healing? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. Well, let me just share this with y'all. I don't want y'all to think I'm illiterate or anything like that, but I need glasses. And and I really need to get some. I'm always buying everything but glasses. I don't know. I think that's a Taurus thing. We should be doing certain things, and me as a healer, I should really be on it. While I'm telling my clients, well, don't I'm gonna get some glasses eventually. I promise you. I swear I'm gonna get some glasses, y'all. But I'm all like this. I'm straining and stuff. I know I sound like I'm illiterate, but I promise I'm not illiterate, y'all. But any rate, so yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. I mean, we'll talk about whatever y'all ask in the comment. I mean, what's up? Whatever y'all really want to talk about. I'm kind of on that. I don't really want to do the beef thing because I'm not good at beefs. I'm not good at beefs because I would I would go above and beyond to get at somebody really tough and really hard because that's just how Tauruses do. I don't mean like tough like on the street. Well, but I don't want to do all that. I don't want to talk about other content creators in a negative way. Only person I probably will talk about is like abusers and people like that. But I really don't want to talk about other content creators in a negative light because I don't want to bring that energy toward me. And you will somebody will meet their ride or die. You will, whoever that is saying that, you will meet your ride or die. You just have to put the energy out there in the right way. And the law of attraction will attract you. Yeah, I don't feel like all that. I don't feel like cursing nobody out. I don't feel like going off on this channel. Now I'm gonna be honest with you all. Now I do watch beefs though. I do watch them, and sometimes I'll laugh. I get tickle pink sometimes with them, and then other times not so much because. And thank you for saying I had a nice flow, by the way. But I don't necessarily. I be wanting to sometimes say like, why y'all arguing? Sometimes I think some of these beats be really fake. I think that sometimes people be trying to blow up their channel to get into these beefs with some of these different people, to clout chase. I believe that, and sometimes I think certain people have certain mental problems. I'm not gonna lie, because some of the stuff I was looking at this one beef today. I'm not gonna tell you what the beef was or who said what or who it was or anything like that. But I was watching this one beef, and both of them, I disagree with both of what they were saying. Some of the things one person was saying, I was like, I could understand it. The other person, it's like, why are you condoning certain things? So I don't want to get into the beef sector. I don't want to do the beef sector. I do watch it at times, not all the time. I spend my day watching it, but I will watch it on occasion while I'm doing something else productive. But I will watch. I am guilty of that. Sorry, guilty as charged. I will watch the beef sector, and I will laugh at some of the things. And some of the things I just think is repugnant and just ignorant as hell. And so I find myself just laughing. And I think some people are really mentally ill, and that's not really nothing to joke about. It's not really anything to joke about. However, I do laugh at some things because I'm like, well, you putting it out there for me to laugh at, so I'm gonna go ahead and laugh at it. And I don't think that but still, it's still that side of me that, number one, I don't want to start a beef because I don't want that energy, because I don't know how to handle it. Because I'm gonna go at you, and I don't want to do that because I don't want to go outside of my own energy. I don't want to go outside of that. I'm 46 years old, getting ready to be 47. What I look like still arguing with somebody younger than me, or somebody older than me, or somebody around my same age. So I don't really want to do that because I'm a healer. What I look like going? Bump you, other healer. Bump you, Ureta. Bump you. You know what I mean? I don't, what I mean? I might not like these particular energies. And I'm talking about people that just do people wrong. Just known people that do other people wrong. What's documented, where we see it every day. That's something different than for me to just go in on somebody and to be going back and forth. It's like, why? They put it out there for us to watch and get mad when you, yeah, that's why listen, I be in the bushes. I'm not subscribed to either parties. I'm not even subscribed to them. I just kind of watch and I be like, woo, okay. But it just be too much. And it's just something that I heard today and I really want to oh my God, I really want to talk about it, but I can't, let me say this. Let me say this. I I think that no, if I said it, that'll be it. I don't like knocking people, and I think everybody has to start off somewhere in their life. I think that if you are a dishwasher at a particular restaurant, I think that's fine. But I don't think you should stay there forever being a dishwasher. I think eventually you should either try to become a chef or something, or try to own the store, or even try to become management at that place, or start your own dishwashing service somewhere, or whatever it is that you want to do. I don't think you should just be on the ground level. Well, this is what I accept. I believe I'm an evolutionary, and I believe in trying to elevate yourselves, and I believe in elevating people around you. Like, I don't want to hang around a whole bunch of people who's not trying to do that's, even family. I don't want to hang around a whole bunch of family or friends or associates or whatever that's not really trying to do something better with their life. I always want to be better. I always strive to be better than what I was 10 years ago. What I was 10 years ago, I'm way better now. You know what I mean? I need to lose some of this weight, child, because I done gained some weight within this year. But it'll come off. It's coming off, actually, to be honest with you. I'm down a size, but whatever. Um, yeah. That's how Taurus is. We're mean, but we kind. Mental illness, a real disease. It is. Awakening, strong. How you doing, Queen? I'm doing fine. Awakening. How you doing, Awakening? What if it makes them happy? We are human beings and not doers. Yeah. But I'm just telling you the type of people I want to be around. I don't necessarily want to. That's why I be on my daughter. My daughter's a single mother, and I be on her a lot about. She has a job and everything, and she has her own place, but she has a roommate, my son, and they split their bills. That's their spot. But I be on her about always upgrading. My son, I always tell my children to upgrade. I always try to do better and not stay in one place for an extended period of time without trying to do better. Even if let's say that you find a job that you really like and you've been there for 20 years, I mean, that's what's up. That's what you want to do. And if try to at least go to a management position if you can. If you can't, and you just happy where it is, and you get making good money, then shoot, that's you still elevating. No, you still elevating. You might be going back to school for some, I don't know, but try to elevate somewhere in your life. If you like where you at on your job, that's what's up. Hands down. You know what I mean? That's beautiful. But I think that people that I want to, the energy that I bring to people, I would like people to elevate as best as they can at some parts in their life. Either that, let's say they change their diet, that's still a form of evolutionary, right? Elevating, right? That's still growth, right? Even if they say, well, I want to change my car, I would like to get a better car, or I don't know, wherever aspect of their life that they feel like they want to change. I want to keep my house nicer. I want to buy a nicer front. I don't know. But I think that people should try and try to live their best life possible. And I don't believe people should I don't think, and then even if a person doesn't want to elevate, I'm not going to try to always, and I don't feel the need to put people down because they're not doing as much as I feel like they should be doing. You know what I mean? That's not something I want to do. I'm not here for that. I don't want to put people down. I don't want to put people down personally, and I don't want to put people down, energetic wise, or family down, or. I agree. My kids have always seen me move up in my field, and even if I switch throughout my field, yeah, my children I've always been in school. I've always been trying to get some education, or I've always switched jobs and try to get somewhere where I had a stable income. And I've been, on low income before, and I've been on assistance for a different period in my life, but I don't feel the need to make anybody feel bad because they have or have not. I mean, that's no, I'm not gonna do that. Right. I tell my kids the spot to elevate. I just want people to elevate. That's all. And I think we should elevate. And I think that um I think it's too much beef with us in our communities as well as the YouTube community. I think that we have too many beefs, and I think I wish that more channel holders would like come together on down from the very big ones on down to the smaller YouTubes or the ones that have the same percentage of people that follow them. And I think that more than likely, if I have this particular following, then World has this following, then SL Davis has this following, then Angel has his following, and then this particular person has a following, and all of us should like really come together and work together. And just different people, if we're kind of similar, or even if we're the opposite, just the fact that you are cool, or you know, or like your content, or I think that you are right, or I think you hilarious, or I think what you talk about is really good, then I would like to connect with you. I would like to and I think more of us on YouTube, I think that we should all try to come together better. And I think it should be less time in roasting the way that we do. And I think if it's fun, if it's like in a funny kind of way, like in a joking way where we're both having fun and it's not hurtful, I think that we should have more of that. I really would like to see more of that in the passing of the in the passing in the passing of the as the year moves forward. I would like to see more of us come together. I do wish for that. um People always say that you say you a nurse and you choose to stay at home. I always say my hubby have provided me with the option. I stayed at home, started working at 14. Yeah, when you start working early, you don't really want to work forever. You know, I understand that. I mean, that's between your dynamics in your own home. You know, everybody has their own dynamics, and you should, and that's a good thing. If you have a option where you know you can sit at home with the children or whatever, because that's what I'm rearing myself to. That's why, because I knew we wanted more children. We wanted to have an addition to our family, so somebody need to be at home. Because the thing is, when I had my when my previous marriage, I always had to work. I always worked 2 jobs, or I worked a job and went to school, or I went to school and worked 2 jobs, just crazy stuff. And I wasn't really there. And then when I joined the movement, I wasn't really there for my children like I should have been. And I'm gonna be honest with you. And I shouldn't have. The movement was really in my home, and I really should have been more focused on my home, but I was so focused on the movement activities. And so I don't want to make that same mistake again. I don't. I think that at a certain point in the movement, I should have been left. I've left years ago, but I should have left way, way, way back. I did take breaks. I took a break when after my daughter got pregnant, but it was too late. You know, she was graduating graduating high school right when she got pregnant. You know, she walked across the stage with a big belly. You know what I mean? But I really should have been focused on. That's why that little joke was upstairs. I really should have been focused on taking care of my children more or less. And so I'm not making a mistake again. So for me, it will make sense for me to have my own business, for me to be all like, okay, come on, son, because I want more boys this time around as well. Because my husband already had 2 girls, and I have a girl and I have 2 boys. I just want more boys. But I always find it, when you have a home, I think it's important for somebody needs to be at home. I know sometimes it's hard because you definitely need 4 or 5 incomes in order to survive nowadays. So I definitely understand that. But what I like about the world now is that we have so many other options to sit at home, like YouTube and all these other different revenues to make money from home. So I like that. Facts. I have 7 kids, and it took a stroke 2 years ago for me to slow down. Yeah, you have to, you know. And That's the thing. And I was really stressed out during those times. I was really stressed out. I was really stressed out. And my children thought I was mean because I was always working. And the way, because I would be so angry after coming home and being tired. And they would be trying to really, mommy, 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 like, oh, go sit down. You know what I mean? Because I work so hard. And it's like, I got to do this, I got to do that. So it was hard. And I really think that children do need both parents at a degree, or a simulation of a parent or something, or at least it's really helpful if you can really co-parent with the parent, the other parent. You find the best way that you can to do that. You guys, let me know. There are some strong, great women doing it lovely with grace and awesome. Thank you. Y'all know I'm winding down. I probably need to. Oh my god, I probably need to get my grandson to bed or something. I don't know. I usually let him stay up till about 10 or something because he's not doing nothing but playing that game upstairs. I got a game and everything for the children. So he's playing that game. He already brought in his cartridge. Not cartridge. I sound really old. I mean the game. I said cartridge. Y'all know I'm thinking about Atari, right? That used to be my shiznick, the Atari. Y'all remember the Atari? Who on here old? I love the Atari. The Atari was so cool. But that's another story. That's part of my childhood depression. but um but I thank you so much, Omega Sunlight, though. But I really think my grandson is probably not gonna have school tomorrow because there's supposed to be like some type of an ice storm or something, snow going on tomorrow. So hopefully he don't have school tomorrow. So all I gotta do is take him around the corner, and I don't have to try to take him to school or try to get him, or he don't get sick, because when he gets sick. And my grandson, by the way, to share with you all this, my grandson has autism. I'm not laughing at that, but I'm laughing at the fact that he doesn't really act like he does, but he is so intelligent. He is on my nerves, and I don't be like, you have autism, you have autism. We don't really talk about that. I don't even look at it like that. I just know he just thinks differently. That's all. But yeah, so I'm laughing at how he's so friendly. He comes in, hi, my name is Malik. He just be so friendly and stuff. And I'm not gonna let him get on here and embarrass me, because he'll get on here and start trying to rap to y'all. He'll start dancing, and his dancing is not on point like that. Don't tell him I told you, but he'll be like, he did something like this one day, and I just was so embarrassed. I was like, please stop. We had people over, and he just busted out, started dancing. I was just like, oh my God. But nevertheless, I probably should wrap this up. I've been bumping my gums for quite some time now. Yeah, y'all know I can talk. I'm long-winded. So let me get off of here. I'm going to take down my hair because it's up in this ponytail, and and I think it's too much hair on my head. I mean, well, I love my hair. I love having a lot of hair, but I need to take it down. I like to have it down because it just sometimes when you put it up in the bowl, you pulling your stuff, your shiznick up. My 8-year-old is autistic and has a kidney disease. Oh, my son has a heart of gold. Yeah, he does, and he gets on my nerves. His heart of gold gets on my nerves. I just want to say for the record, that boy gets on my nerves. He knows he gets on my nerves. Him and his mama get on my nerves, and his mama's. All of my children on my heart, but God, I know I keep talking about my daughter, but I'm mad at her because she went out of town and she's supposed to have been back. She's supposed to have been back today, but it's snowing where she's at. And so, of course, they got to take their time. But, I don't want her to hurt herself. But it's just, people always trying to spring the children on you. And children be thinking they be thinking it's a joke. I know I did to my mom, I'm sure. But I don't care. But children think it's a joke when you're a grandmother, and it's like, especially when it's girls in a lot of ways, when you have daughters, you damn near that other child, damn near their children's mothers almost. Well, you're a second or third, fourth, fifth mother or something. But like with my son's children, I don't have them as much. And they little. It's a newborn. Yeah, it's a newborn, and then they have a 1 year old and a 2 year old. And I'm telling you, woo, I can handle them if I want to, but I have to get plenty of rest. And I don't want to handle them right now. You know why? Because I got stuff in my living room, and that 2 year old, she runs, and I have an altar right there. See that? And she runs to that altar, and she does it just to irritate me. I'm telling you, I know she does. I know the little thing, that little yellow thing, that little yellow cute baby, beautiful. All my grandchildren, I don't care if they dark skin, light skin, and I think black is beautiful, just for the record. But that little thing, I'm telling you, she just runs, that little cute little big head girl. She just runs and she goes and gets the I have these little crystals in a crystal ball, in a little ball. I have little crystals in this little bottle, and she goes and gets the bottle and just runs around the living room. And then she runs fast. She be like, woo! And then you got the other one. Then the 1 year old, both of them walk. And then you got the 1 year old. She'll grab something and go the opposite way, and they'll be charged. And I have to run up and catch them. Then I have to turn on Baby Shark, and they'll make you play it over and over and over. Whoever made Baby Shark, I want to strangle them. I hate Baby Shark. Now I used to like it. Now it gets on my nerves. Baby Shark. Oh, if I heard it one more time, she just kept playing it over and over and over again. And I just no. Okay, let's see what else. I left the kitchen getting on my nerves. My daughter, 19 years old. She is semi-annoyed as usual for 2 days. I understand. Oh my God. How old is she? Oh, 19. Daughter 19, and she is semi-annoyed as usual. Oh yeah, 19-year-olds. Yeah, I think they get on your nerves all the way up until they hit 30. I'm almost sure, because I'll be glad when my Pisces daughter, my oldest child, be glad when she turns 30, because she works my nerves. But I know I talk a lot about her, but out of all of my children, she'll go and, like, if it's a birthday or I'm moving into a place, she went and bought me some glasses. I mean, so I could talk stuff all I want to, but she will, like I said, she's really sweet. She'll do little sweet things for me, but she's gonna make up for this, I tell you. Let me see where I'm at. The Missy Corner. Hey. It's been nice and sweet company, everyone. Have a beautiful night. Hit the like button. Tell them, hit the like button. I suffer from migraines until I cut my hair twice. From ponytails. New is a new. Peace to y'all. I subscribe. Please subscribe to me, y'all. Please subscribe. Let me go ahead and wrap this up, because y'all know I'm getting to get into a whole nother conversation. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I'm going to take this down because it was looking cute earlier. Then my little sideburns fell off. I got to take this down. I can't. Ooh. Oh, yes. Now this feels beautiful. Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. Ooh. All right, y'all. Subscribe. Please subscribe. Please get these likes up. I don't know how many likes I got, but thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, I slobbed on myself. Sorry. Anyway, thanks so much for subscribing to me. Thank you so much for listening to me run my mouth. And thank you. Hopefully y'all had some fun in here, and y'all can come back and chill with me. Thank you, world. Thank you. I noticed you. I know World, and I know my boy Melvin brought y'all over here. I know that for a fact. I know that. But anyway, thank you all. I appreciate everybody coming in here. I gotta go deal with my grandson. Okay. I gotta go deal with him. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him. Hopefully he'll get it. I know he already had a bath and everything, so hopefully in 30 minutes I get him to bed. Because if I don't, boy, he'll be on that game all night, and then be going to school in the morning and be like, "What? You must have been up your grandma's house." But I'm gonna make sure he go to bed. God save me. Anyway, save me from him. Y'all come rescue me. from him because that little boy worked my nerves. Y'all save me for him and his mama. But anyway, thank you so much for subscribing to me. Thank you so much. Please like the video. Please leave comments below of things you all would like me to talk about in the future, because I would like to talk about, we can really talk about any topic. I just don't want to do the beef thing, but let's talk about anything other than that. I really don't want to talk about that one guy, but if y'all want me to talk about him, I just won't mention his name, but we could talk about it. I will talk about the energy of that, not necessarily him. But anyway, thank you so much. If I miss any of your comments, I apologize. Bear with me because I'm getting new to this. So you all just, just leave me an email at ask314life@gmail.com. I'm sorry I had to think about it because I have like several different emails. So I was trying to figure out which one I was going to give you all. Or you can go to my website and help me purchase my stuff. So, because I got y'all, I'm gonna adopt some children, and I need the money, and it'll help y'all. Help me to help y'all, because I believe in benefit. My stuff, I like to benefit people, and people benefit me. I like money, but I like to help people with the money that I like to help people. So whatever. What else? Okay. My website is ask314life.com. And to also find me on Facebook at Dr. Dennis Amira Sankofa Kwali. And also go to my Instagram at Dr. Ask Coach. You can find me on Instagram. Subscribe to me there too if you can, and check out and like some of my stuff, because I'm not getting enough likes. People inbox me, but they won't like it. They be like, "Ooh, I like that. That's really good, sister. I like all the hard work." Well, like me. That's all. I don't necessarily do the donation thing, y'all. I do have a donation link on my website, but I'm not asking people to donate. I'd rather people buy stuff, and then I just give them back the stuff and give them a tracking number. And I don't do the whole, I ain't gonna mention her name, but y'all know who she do. So I like people to buy stuff, and I definitely take care of them. Or if people don't buy stuff, then just come and support me. How about that? But I don't necessarily want donations. I will take them, but I don't really necessarily. If somebody gave me a donation, I gotta give them a reading. I can't just have people give me donations and I don't do anything. Even if somebody donated me $5, I'm be like, okay, well, I'm gonna give you a reading. Okay, I'm gonna give you some advice. Okay, well, let me find something that I can do for you when you do for me. I just can't do the whole donation thing like that. But if people donate, then I'll help them out. Something I'll do a reading. I don't want people to just donate. I feel weird. I feel weird about the donation thing because it's gotten out of control. It's gotten way out of control. But anyway, thank you so much for subscribing for me. Let me get my little bumping gums off here. My husband used to call me Talking Tina, the doll. So thank you so much, Namashet. I need to text my husband back because he's like, you've been on there for too long. Okay. Peace out, Namashet. To schedule reading, also 502-208-9142. Thank you.